Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. How is everybody today, guys? Please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, leave me a comment, and share it with anybody that you think might it might help. Anyway, excuse me. How was everybody today, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Today was a good day. As I was talking about, I went to my great aunt Grace's wake last night, and I got there a little. My brother and I walked a little bit late, so I missed a lot of family. But the family I got to see there, guys, and these are people I haven't seen in 20 something years because shame and addiction and it just the lifestyle, right? And it felt so incredibly good. As a matter of fact, I was invited out to dinner by my auntie Jan and my Uncle Phil, my Auntie Gloria, and I missed my cousin Kevin by a second, but my brother and I went and met family for dinner, and it was fantastic, guys. It was such a nice night. These are the gifts that we get in sobriety, right? I mean, you never know. Like, I didn't, yeah, I mean, it was so nice. It was so nice to be able to go pay respects to a woman who meant so much to me growing up. My Aunt Grace was one of the most faithful, amazing, kind, just beautiful people that has ever walked this earth, right? And it was so it gave me such a good feeling to be there to say respect. As a matter of fact, her daughter Joni, when she realized, literally didn't recognize who I was. It's been so long since she's seen me. I hadn't seen me since I was a kid. Um, late kids, whatever. Anyway, we made a comment. She goes, "Oh my God, my mother would want to be alive just to see you coming in to be here for her. Like it would mean that much to her, me coming back after so long to see that." And then that comment made me feel great. And I couldn't do any of these things if I wasn't in sobriety today, guys. Everything I have, everything that keeps coming my way, is the direct result of my sobriety today, and that's huge. And not only sobriety, guys, but becoming the person that I am, becoming the person I want to be, becoming the person I can be proud of being. And that's the thing, guys. Taking it to the next step. It's not only about getting sober, but it's about building a life that you actually want to participate in. It's about building a life where you have hopes and dreams, and you start acting on your hopes and dreams, and you start putting things together for your future. Because then you want to engage, and you want to challenge yourself to reach new heights and actually live up to your potential. And it is so fulfilling, guys. And so in order to do that, we got to start making changes. We got to start fixing these things that kept us drinking or drugging or whatever your case may be. And so that just for and ironically, again, the just for today NA meditation that I do every day, it's amazing how it applies, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. Is becoming entirely ready, which is we're asking our higher power to help us remove our shortcomings. But in order to do so, you have to become entirely ready to sit and get introspective, and look at where you feel, where you fall short in life, right? And in situations, because you want to be able to change those things. You've got to be able to look at them and see and take your accountability and things without letting it sink you, guys. You can't. That's why we usually say, give yourself, a month or two in rehab to get yourself a little bit of stability before you start doing this inner work. But as soon as you're ready, you got to start doing the inner work, because that's where the changes come, and that's where the growth begins, and that's how you maintain sobriety. You can't just level off by putting down the drink or the drugs. I've tried it. You end up going back to it because nothing's changed. You want to start working on your defects of character. And I don't say this to call you out. Everybody on the planet has defects of character. Nobody's walking around Jesus Christ. Okay, so don't take it harsh, and don't judge yourself harshly. Nobody's perfect. We all have room for improvement, and that's the beauty of it, guys. We can make that improvement. So you want to start asking your higher power, and again, it's another reason it's so incredibly important to have a one-on-one conscious contact relationship with your higher power. Call yours what you will, whatever your, whatever form, denomination, or just spirituality, terminology you choose to use is perfectly fine. It makes no difference to me. I'm never going to be one of those people that's going to try and tell you that my way is the right way. My way is the way that works for me, and it placates my personality, and it's understandable in my brain. And every one of us thinks a little bit different, and that's the beauty of us, guys. Nobody wants to be identical. But find yours, right? Develop your relationship with your higher power, and then ask your higher power to help you identify your defects of character, and then to remove those defects of character. And once you know what they are, when you find yourself starting to act in that way, and again, if you're being intentional and you're praying, you're meditating, whatever your path is, but if you're actively following your recovery program, you will start to see these things, and when they happen, you'll be able to stop and arrest them. And again, baby steps. You know what I mean? If you fail, it's okay. Just ask for forgiveness and then try to do better next time. And the next time, as you catch yourself in that, the most important, and I know it's not always easy, guys, but when you can catch yourself starting to do it and have the balls to arrest it and acknowledge it, it's the fastest way to change it. And that's the beauty. I love the fact that I've become that person. I've let go of guilt and shame, and I've accepted the fact, and I've made public the fact that I have issues, and I'm trying to overcome them. So now, when I step out of alignment and I start to act on an old behavior or falling underneath an old limiting belief, I correct it immediately, and I'll throw it right out there in a room full of people and sorry, hey, that's the old me, that's the one I had to shed and I had to get rid of, and I can't do that anymore, and I'm sorry I was starting to get down that road. This is how I see it. This is how I feel it. And people usually really are impressed by that, and then they rally around you and they encourage you and they help you. Guys, we have so many times these insecurities we have that we think we got to show a front of being perfect. People see right through it anyway, and they usually just shut you down, or they just, yes you to your face and then laugh at you behind your back. But when you come honest like that, you don't have to worry about things like that. They'll usually acknowledge, say, wow, that took a lot of strength to admit, or, whatever the case may be, your situation. You'll have to let it unfold, and then, by all means, come and let me know. But I promise you, it'll get better when you show the strength of character, particularly when people respect anybody that's put down the drink or the drug. It's so hard these days, and it's such an epidemic. And literally, I don't run into anybody when I start sharing, and I do constantly, guys. I've made my life about recovery, because for me, the addiction has owned me for so long that if I don't, the minute I know, guys, as gung-ho as I am today, as soon as I let this go and I start thinking I can walk around and not having to be, not having to let recovery be a part of my life. Because it's funny, I'll get comments on other channels, people like, oh, you gotta let that go and just forget about it. Now you're past that. No, I'm not. This is something I've gone back and forth with my entire life. I'm 52 years old, and I've been doing this since I was basically 12 years old. I mean, I want to be done. And in order to be done, I want to make my life of service to other people, and the best way I can do that. I mean, what do I have more experience with than recovery or with addiction? And I'm putting good experience with recovery back. Guys, like I showed you guys I got my 4-month chip yesterday, and it's nice. They're starting to stack. Here, I'm trying to get them to the camera. I'm starting to get a nice little pile of chips there, and that's just more encouragement. And this is why you go to meetings, guys. Not only do you meet like-minded people that share, you can share your story and they understand your struggles and they understand and they want to celebrate your wins, but you get little reminders and little rewards, and then relationships. I told you guys I went out to lunch with my AA group yesterday, and it was fantastic. I'm starting to be able to engage with the outside world, and I'm starting to actually. The things I always talked about before is, I got to find, sober hobbies and sober friend groups. Well, this time around, I'm actually doing it. I'm actually sitting up front at the meeting, speaking every time at the meeting, raising my hand, interacting with other people, encouraging other people, and then picking up other people that are having a hard time and offering my shoulder, offering the tissue when somebody's having a hard time, but engaging, interacting, and showing concern and honest care for other people, and it's very rewarding. But it's also showing me where my strengths are. It's showing me the person that I enjoy, right? And it's showing me the personality traits that I want to encourage from within myself. And again, I've been doing this for a while now, and I think with everything I'm doing, I'm pouring a lot into it. I think that's why I'm on the fast track to beautiful blessings. I mean, look at the miraculous change in my life. You guys only know since I started the channel. But, those that know me and have seen me are just shocked, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the beauty of my life, and that's why I give it to I give so much credit to my relationship with my higher power, whom I choose to call God, because I've developed a direct relationship with God, and I pray morning, night, and I pray throughout the day, and I meditate every night, and, I go and, I just, everything I'm doing, guys, I talk about it all the time. But it's blessing me in ways, and again, it's amazing. I believe that this is my time. I finally gathered enough suffering that I feel I can relate to any person on the planet, and I've made my life about being of service and trying to help other people, and now it's blessing me in ways because God sees that I'm honest and I want to do good things for other people. So He's given me resources that I can now use to help other people, and it's beautiful, guys. When you live intentionally and you find your soul's true path and you do it right and you do it for the betterment of not only yourself but others, and you got to put yourself first. I have to put myself first. There's many out there that are like, oh, what do you got? Go, come give it to me. And I can't do that, guys. But what I do is I make sure I take care of me first so that I have a solid foundation and I have something that's going to give me a tomorrow and the day after. And I continue to show up every day the same person with the same attitude and the same energy. And consistency is starting to build a beautiful foundation for me. And now now I'm gathering resources and gathering strength, and I'm having the ability to go out and bless and help many, a lot more people than I could early on. And I'm going to continue doing this. And as long as I do so with balance, as long as I continue to not let work take over, now that the business is starting to pick up, but I still make my home, I still make my therapy appointment. I still meet with my recovery advisor. I still make my Friday AA group. I don't let anything else take more importance. Like last night, I went out and we had a nice dinner, and I was home by 9:30. But again, I don't get out very much. I got up this morning. I had one small job to do, and then a couple of small things came in, so I went and took care of them. And I was back here by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was tired. So I went and laid down, guys. Instead of going to the gym today, because I've made the gym every day this week, I'm going to give my body a day of rest. And I just went and took a 5-hour nap, and now I'm going to post my video. I'm going to go make myself a nice homemade meal, and I'll post on TikTok and do a little bit of work with my online class, and that's it. I don't overtax myself. When I feel tired, I know there's a reason for it, right? And it's beautiful, guys. Finding balance. And again, I say these things as examples. Find your path. Anything I can help you with, by all means, reach out. I think we'll leave it at that, guys. It's Saturday night. I've noticed some much better engagement this week. I don't know if maybe just, weather, who knows. There's a lot of rain, people indoors. But either way, I'm going to try and keep them short. I'm trying to pay attention so I can tailor the channel to everybody's liking so that everybody gets more out of it. And maybe we can help grow this thing a little better. But guys, either way, thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. This channel, this little project of mine, is literally making me the best version of me I've ever known. I'm really starting to enjoy who I am and the things that I do, and that's everything to me. That means the absolute world, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so very much, guys. Always remember, God loves you, I love you. Be safe, be blessed, be the best you can. Put yourself first, take care of others from there, and we'll see you in the next one.